So I'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnanajana Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanada Swamiti Namane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshtarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Dvaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktaranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Hello everyone, Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Gita study session. So we are in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and hopefully we'll complete this chapter. We'll see how it goes. So we'll give as always, we'll give a quick glimpse of Bhagavad Gita, what is in Bhagavad Gita for any new participants, if you want to know. So it's always good to see Bhagavad Gita in a glimpse, right? In few words. So entire Bhagavad Gita is in 18 chapters. The first 6 chapters, Krishna talked about Karma Yoga. The other 6 chapters, Krishna talked about Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters called Gnana Yoga. And Krishna gives complete understanding about various subject matters. So in the Karma Yoga section, Krishna spent almost 5 chapters. So Karma Yoga is like art of working. Every day we work, right? So we work to earn money. We work to take care of our family members. We work to take care of our children. We work to take care of our house, home. And we work to take care of this body. It's all karma. It's all work. But sometimes we feel work is a burden. Why am I doing this? Why should I do this? So Krishna addressed that aspect. One should not think work is a burden. If a person works in proper consciousness, proper mindset, then he can live in this world happily, he can work in this world happily. His work will not create any bondage. The law of karma is any action we do, it produces a reaction. If you do good actions, it will produce good reactions. If you do bad actions, it will do bad reactions. Any action has a reaction. So when the action done as a selfless service to the Supreme Lord, that action will not produce any new reaction. That means we are nullifying the karma. That means we are closer to the God. And it's so joy, one can joyfully work, because my work is not for my own pleasure, not for my own enjoyment. Now I'm working for a higher cause, for the pleasure of the Lord. That is the art of working. Krishna taught in these first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. When a person clearly understands the art of working, he will never feel the work to be burden. He can live happily and work happily and purifies mind, purifies consciousness. Most of the time we are in I and my centric. So the art of working helps us to get out of this I and mind mentality and purify our mind and consciousness. Okay, so on the second half of the chapter, 6 to 12, Krishna talks about Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the art of devotion, connecting to the Supreme Lord through love and devotion. So for me to learn to love my Father, the Supreme Lord, I need to know everything about him. So Krishna talks about everything about him. And all the details about soul, Krishna spoke about in the second chapter, but he gives full details in additional details in 12 to 18 about soul, about super soul, the prakriti, material nature, and the supreme lord, and finally gives an instruction to Arjuna that sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. You just surrender to me. I'll take care of all your sins. I'll cleanse all your sins. Ma suchaha, do not worry. So with that, Krishna concludes Bhagavad Gita. So that is a glimpse of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll hear again and again so that we don't forget. Okay, so this is a fifth chapter. This chapter is titled Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So we covered up to the verse 20. I'm not going to go the summary or overview this time because we are close to this end of the chapter. So we'll do the detailed summary in the next session. But I'll give you a high-level glimpse of it again. So this chapter also started with Arjuna's question. He says, which path is more beneficial? Should I work? I mean, not himself, but the path of Karma Yoga is beneficial, or the path of renunciation is more beneficial for people in general? Krishna says both paths are good for you to take this path, the path of Karma Yoga. You be in this world, you work in this world, but you remain untouched by this world, like a lotus leaf. Krishna gives this example. You be in this world and work in this world and remain untouched by the dirt, the lust, greed, anger, jealous, envy. Because of I-ness and minus, ahankara and mamakara, we try to get those diseases. The biggest disease we have is I disease. Everything I-centric. So Krishna says, you work with proper mindset, yoga yuktaha, work for the pleasure of the Lord. Bring God in picture. Now it's not I disease, it's God disease. We work for the pleasure of the Lord. So by such work, we can remain unattached. We can remain detached even while living in this world, like a lotus leaf. Okay, so we can retain our purity of consciousness. And Krishna also talked about three doers. Okay, so one might question, if I am working, I should enjoy it, right? If I'm playing soccer game, I'm playing soccer game. I got the award, player of the match. With my own efforts, I played and I got the award. I should enjoy. Why should I offer the result to the Lord? Why should I bring God in picture? And Krishna talks about these three doers, where Krishna says that you are not the only person who is working. Right? There are other faculties too. That is Paramatma, Supreme Lord, and also Prakriti, material nature. Those facilitate according to our guna, karma, or destiny. If you have to win, if you are supposed to get an award, you'll get it. But those are being facilitated through the other faculties, the Supreme Lord and Prakriti, material nature. So we went through that in detail. So by that knowledge, Krishna says, you just think you're not alone. There are other people too. And fix your mind. Don't be egocentric. Fix your mind unto the Supreme Lord. When you fix your mind unto the Supreme Lord, then your mind is purified and your vision is clear. How do you deal? How do you look at the things in this world? So when you get a equal vision. So Krishna talked about this, and yeah, we'll continue this section. 6:45. Let's see how it goes. So I think I need to give the connecting verse. Yeah. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. This is a verse we looked at last time. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha. So a person, by fixing his mind unto the Supreme Lord, or the soul or Paramatma. His mind is cleansed. He'll attain the knowledge, Brahma Vidya. So that way, with that knowledge, he will see everyone equally. He doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate people. Does not hate anyone. He loves everybody. So along the same lines, Krishna is talking about the person who has attained that stage, who has perfected by the practice of self-realization. Okay, so yeah, we are not there yet, but we can learn from this. So Brahman platform, people with equal vision conquer birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are situated in Brahman. So Krishna talked about equal vision. The perfection stage of a yogi is that his vision is clear, does not discriminate, and such a person can conquer the birth and death. I can conquer the birth and death. He can attain liberation. And 20 to 21. So we'll spend more time in the other verses. We'll go in detail, but I'm going to quickly go over these things. So symptoms of a self-realized person. So am I self-realized person? No, we may not be self-realized person yet, but we can develop the qualities like a self-realized person. Okay, so Krishna is going to talk about that. Symptoms of a self-realized person. Who is qualified a yogi? Who is qualified to be called as a yogi? The person who does not rejoice something pleasant, right? So when there is a happiness, in his life, he's doing something, he's going to office and doing something or whatever the work it is, so he gets some appreciation, he becomes so joyful, so pleasant. Krishna is saying, shouldn't I it doesn't rejoice. Why shouldn't I be happy when I got the rewards, when I got the appreciation? The problem here is when I enjoy for my own self, then I think like I'm the cause of that. If I'm enjoying the appreciation for myself, I think I'm the cause of it, and I'll become egoistic and create problems to myself and others. Krishna is saying, don't rejoice when there is a happiness. Don't think you are the cause. Don't think you are the cause. You attribute that to the Supreme Lord. Krishna, because of you only, I attain this. Simple. Right? So, 2, does not lament for something unpleasant. This is hard. Yeah. So when there is a distressful situations, everybody laments. Everybody suffers. Everybody laments, right? So nobody wants distressful situations. But still people go through distressful situations because of our baggage, karma baggage. When they go through the situations, how their mindset is. So this is about a self-realized person at the highest stage. He's neutral. He's a neutral. But a practitioner, we are not there yet, but a practitioner, how they should see. So these things become simplified when we bring God in picture. Right? When I'm going through difficult conditions, something happened in my life, then I'll say, again, same thing. Krishna, you have a plan for me. Maybe I did some sin. I committed an offense. I did a sin. Maybe it's coming back. You give me the strength. You give me the strength to overcome this. Overcome this. So such way, he will not sit and cry. Such a person, he will not sit and cry on distressful situations, but he will be courageous and strong to face the difficulties. So it is because he's bringing God in picture. He's fixed in intelligence, right? His intelligence is fixed, sthira buddhi, and there is no confusion, asamuda 4, and knows the science of God, Brahma Vid. So science of God is all about knowledge about the God. So Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. That means if a person learns or gains the knowledge about the God, he develops God-like qualities. God-like qualities. Everybody wants God-like qualities. But we are opposite of that. So mostly people have dog-like qualities, not God-like qualities. So it's a person, if a person gains the complete knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, bring God in picture, practice spirituality, he develops God-like qualities. Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. And he is situated in trance, he is happy person. Unattracted to material pleasure. Krishna is going to talk about this seventh statement in upcoming verses. So he's unattracted to material pleasures. Okay, we'll look at it in detail in upcoming verses. So enjoys pleasure within. So that means in the seventh verse, Krishna is saying his happiness is not from material things. Most of the time, our happiness is on material things. I'll be happy when I have a phone, iPhone 20. I'll be happy when I have a nice house, full of gold, so much money, unlimited money, unlimited enjoyment. Unlimited enjoyment, unlimited facilities. Our happiness is based on an external thing, material thing. So this yogi is unattracted to material pleasure because his happiness is not from material things. He's happy if there is iPhone 20 or not. He's happy if there is a nice wealth or not. So that is art of happiness. Because his happiness, it is because his happiness is not from external things, his happiness is from within. Akshayam Sukham. He's not by realizing Paramatma. He's meditating on the God, bringing God in life. His happiness is not from external things. So these are the symptoms of a self-realized soul. So Krishna is talking about, just to connect what is the context here. So Krishna said, gain the knowledge about the three doers, the soul, mainly soul and super soul. With that knowledge, try to connect, try to meditate on them. If you want to go the path of Gnana Yoga, you can meditate on the soul, your own Atma. If you like the path of Bhakti Yoga, you can meditate on the super soul, Supreme Lord. It's a lot simpler to meditate on the super Lord, right? Supreme Lord, Krishna. One can meditate on Krishna. So by such meditation, one's vision is cleared, consciousness is cleared, and how he lives in this world, how he handles certain situations are given here. So his happiness is not from external things, his happiness is from within. We all should or must aspire for this stage. This is a question one might have. Bahya sparshesyu asaktatma. But why? Why should one give up outer pleasures? Everybody lives for outer pleasures, right? What is the purpose of human life? If you ask a person, enjoy. Enjoy through senses is the purpose of human life. Everybody says. Most of the people says. So why do we have this sense of vision to see beautiful things? Why do we have this sense of tongue to taste delicacies, to enjoy through sense of tongue? Why do we have this sense of touch to experience sensual pleasures through touch and other things? So Krishna is saying here very important thing. So everybody lives for that purpose. Lives a life for sensual pleasures, right? Everything we do for our own pleasures. Krishna is saying very important statement. A yogi is one who does not rejoice in outer pleasures. His pleasure is within. And Krishna is going to talk about what happens. Why is that? Because they lead to misery. By living in this world, by enjoying through senses, Krishna is saying that will lead to misery. You will be in trouble. So one might say, Krishna created this nice world. Krishna created everything. Why shouldn't I enjoy? Krishna says, this is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. You are in this place for a temporary time. This is not your permanent place. You have to go back home, back to Godhead. As long as you are in this world enjoying through senses, it's a trap. It's a total trap. You'll be lost. You'll go through this repeated cycle of birth and death. That's why Krishna is going to say that in upcoming verses. This is a connection. So I'll ask someone to read this verse, text 22.
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनया एव ते आदि अन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
Thank you, Prabhu. So why Krishna spoke this verse? Why Krishna spoke this verse? Because Krishna said what Krishna said in the previous verses, fixing the mind onto the Supreme Lord, one attains the state of a self-realized soul, right? And it's hard. Everybody says it's hard. I can fix my mind on material things. Everybody says that. It's so nice. It's nice to watch a cricket game for 3 hours. It's nice to watch a movie for 3 hours, 4 hours. I know people watch movies for whole night. And they start from 6 a.m. to next 6 a.m. in Sunday schedule, weekend schedule. So there are some people, they can fix their mind on material things, but it's hard for them to fix their mind on the Supreme Lord. Why? Because of this, senses give pleasure. The senses we have, one derives pleasure out of it. And Krishna is saying a very important point, that is distressful. So let's understand this one by one. So it is because of our propensity to enjoy through senses, we do not focus on the Supreme Lord. So that is why Krishna has spoken this verse. So samparsha ja bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyment. Bhoga means enjoyment, enjoying through senses. Right? Sense of vision, want to see beautiful things, attractive things, nice cars, right? Nice glittery things in this world. Bhoga. Samparsha ja bhoga. Ja means like that which created out of samparsha. Samparsha means like in contact. Senses in contact with sense object, there is a pleasure. One derives a pleasure. I look at a nice thing, I'll say, wow, I want to enjoy it for myself. I see a nice delicious food, wow, this is for me, I'll enjoy for my own pleasure. Anything, all the senses, we have five five knowledge acquiring senses and five working senses. All the senses, we try to derive pleasure through senses. So Krishna is saying, if a person who is trying to derive pleasure through senses, the pleasure which is born out of sense in contact with sense object, that will lead to misery. Dukkha means misery. Dukkha yonesh, dukkha yonaya evate. Yonaya means that is a source of misery. That will create distress. Adi antavat kauntaya. That means Adi means beginning, antavat means end. That misery, it's a very important verse here. That pleasure one is deriving through senses, that has a beginning and an end. Adi antavantaha, that has a beginning and an end. I'm watching a movie, how long I can watch? I'm enjoying through my sense of vision. Max 24 hours, 48 hours. If a person keep on watching, he'll die. Right? So he may be deriving pleasure, but there is a limit to that. So anything through our senses, like sense of taste, he's enjoying through senses, how much he can eat food. There is a beginning and there is an end. So na teshu ramantha buddha, do not yogis do not, a wise man or a yogi do not delight in them. They do not take pleasure in them. So Krishna is saying, don't get trapped by this sense enjoyment, enjoying through senses. Then why God given these senses? Immediately people will say. Right? So then what is the purpose of this human body? Doesn't it need to enjoy through senses? So what is the answer? Maybe I'll ask someone to say the answer. And God has created everything like nice body, nice senses. What is the purpose of that? Don't we need to enjoy?
It's for engaging in the service, devotional service to the Lord Prabhu, and
Yeah,
for engaging the service of the devotees of the Lord.
yeah. So this place is called a Bhoga Bhumi, right? And also Moksha Bhumi. You can attain, you can get bound by enjoying through senses, or you can also attain liberation by restraining the senses. It starts with restraining the senses. This facility only on Earth planet. It doesn't exist on other planets. Mostly 80% of the time, the other planetary systems like heaven, it's a bhoga bhumi. It's like a place of enjoyment. The chances for one to come to self-realization is very low. So it is because of our desire. It is because of my desire. I want to enjoy through senses. We got this human body and we got this facility. It's simple. Who is the root cause of my birth? Me. It's me only, because of my desire only. If a person is desireless, he doesn't need to take birth again. Simple. So the problem is, anytime we do, right, any action we do throughout the day, throughout our lifetime, we develop more and more desires. I want this. I want this for my own enjoyment. There is a period, okay? I want this for my own enjoyment. I want to go. I wish I go to this place for my own enjoyment. I wish I'll do this for my own enjoyment. It's all around us. So when we enjoying through senses, we'll develop more and more desires. I wish I do this. I wish I do that. So because of our unfulfilled desires, those desires need to be fulfilled. That's why we were given this body, human body, where we can enjoy through senses. And also we have highest facility, that is the facility of highest intelligence, where we can gain knowledge and work on restraining the senses. When the senses are restrained, then the mind is fixed. So that's what Krishna is saying. Sense enjoyment is distressful. Don't get trapped into this so-called sense enjoyment that will lead to the misery. Engage your senses in a right way, as Arun Prabhu said. The same senses which are the source of our distress, which are the source of our misery, the same senses, when engaged in the right for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. I'm eating the food. I have a desire to eat the food. I don't eat for my own enjoyment. I offer to the Supreme Lord. I eat as prasadam. Then I'm engaging my senses in a right way, not for my own pleasure. If a person lives a life like that, he's called a yogi. He will never get trapped. He will never get trapped by this material world. Okay. So experience the higher taste. The right way to engage the senses is when we give the higher taste, the taste bringing God in our life, engaging the senses also in the service of the Lord, fixing the mind unto the Supreme Lord. One can come out of these distressful situations that would create by engaging our senses in a wrong way. So we look at this happiness. In this world, everybody strives for happiness. Nobody strives for distress, right? So people watch nice movies for happiness. Some people in the mode of ignorance drink alcohol for what? Happiness. When there is no element of happiness, nobody would do anything. Everybody does anything in this world because of there is a joy one would experience through these senses. That is the only thing. Okay. um, so the happiness we are deriving in this world is called relative happiness. It's not real happiness. Okay, so this relative happiness has three characteristics. We'll look at it. It's more easy to understand now. The happiness that is dependent on something. Okay, a person, an object, or situation. I'll be happy when I have this person in my life. I'll be happy when I have this object in my life. I'll be happy when I throw a party. Right, that is a situation. I throw a party with my friends, doing all kind of things, right? So that happiness which is dependent on something. I'll be happy when I go to a place, a Disney World or a casino or whatever the place. When the happiness which is dependent on a thing, that happiness is called relative happiness. That's not real happiness. So when the object is there, a yogi is the one, he's happy when the object is there, the situation is there or not. The object is there or not. He's always happy. Otherwise, if you are thinking about like, I'll be happy only when I have this thing in my life, believe me or not, people live a terrible life, terrible life. I've seen many people always contemplating on that objects, which are really hard to attain. Certain times it's really hard to attain. One has to let it go. That many people, they don't let it go. That is a problem. They put all their efforts just to attain this relative happiness. So that is one characteristic of a relative happiness. And the other one is that happiness which comes in between two problems. This is another characteristic. Okay. Example, I don't have a car. I'm always thinking about a car. I wish I had a car. I wish I had a car. Once I had a car, I'm driving. My problem is solved. I was crying for a car. I got a car. I'm now happy. I'm driving in my car. But due to some bad karma, the car gone through accident or car broke down. And for some time I don't have car. So you see this, it started with a problem, and again there is a happiness, and again going down. I repaired the car for some time, or I'll buy a new car, and again I'm happy. It goes on. A person, this is just for humor. A person doesn't have a wife or a girlfriend or a wife, is always thinking about a wife. I wish I had a nice, beautiful wife. Always thinking or meditating upon her, upon a wife with beautiful features. Right? His problem is solved. He gets married, his problem is solved. He got a girl. Now he's happy for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. After 5 years, 10 years, he gets frustrated, irritated. Why I married this girl? His problem start. So then he does something, again it continues, right? So this problem that comes in between two problems, that happiness that comes in between two problems, that is still a relative happiness. And most of the time we are spending our efforts, putting all our efforts just to attain this relative happiness. And the third characteristic is that which has a beginning and an end. A person meditates on something. I wish I had this. I wish I had this nice car. I wish I had this nice car. Once we buy the car, we have the car now. The happiness, how long it lasts? 1 year, 2 year, that's it. I look at the other car, I want the brand new car again. Brand new car again. My happiness just lasted for some time only. It has a beginning and an end. That is also temporary happiness. That's also relative happiness. So these are the three characteristics of relative happiness. Krishna is saying, come out of this. Don't get trapped. Don't strive for relative happiness. Try to look for the happiness from within. That is the upcoming verse now. Okay. So just to say, so what is real happiness? Real happiness is that which is not relative happiness, right? Which is not born of sense pleasures, or which is not in this category 1, 2, 3. That happiness which is not in category, that is the happiness which one gets from within, from his soul, atma or paramatma. In short, keep simple, right? When you do a devotional service, sitting in a program, sitting in a kirtan, sitting in the temple, or at least just going to the temple itself, we'll feel real blissful. Our mind is cool. We'll experience a real bliss, right? So it's a joy from within. It's a joy from within. Again, the joy from within for not our own pleasure. Now we are going to temple for the having darshan of the Lord, to see the Lord. Okay, so the context here Krishna is saying is sense enjoyment is distressful. It will lead you to misery. Okay, so we'll look at the story now. Story time. So much philosophy. So this is a story from Krishna's pastime. Krishna had performed many pastimes, and this is the pastime where Krishna was bound to a motor, and Lord Krishna delivered two people. Two people. So they were trees before, and Krishna delivered these two people. And this month, the month of Damodar month or Kartik month, so devotees glorify this pastime of the Lord. They meditate on this pastime of the Lord. How Lord was bound by his own mother. How Lord went and delivered these two people, and all these wonderful aspects of the Lord. Devotees meditate on the Lord. And devotees say in Damodarashtakam, people recite this verse every day during this month. It is said the devotees doesn't even want liberation. The devotees do not even want liberation. They do not even want Vaikuntha. They do not even want to stand next to the Supreme Lord. They do not want anything. The yogis want just to meditate on this pastime of the Lord. So this pastime is so glorious. The great saintly people desire to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord than attaining liberation. So one may say, my goal of life is attaining liberation. Yes. But the devotees say, my goal of life is to serve the Lord, not even liberation, to meditate on the beautiful aspects of the Lord. Okay. So this story starts with, I'm going to cut short and keep it simple. So there were two sons, two people. These are demigods, Nala and Manigriva. So these were sons of Kuvera. Kuvera is the treasurer of demigods. If a person wants anything, treasurer, right? In any company, there is a treasurer. So Kuvera is a treasurer. He had two sons, Nala and Managriva. So they had all the facilities, nice facilities. Of course, they are demigods. They had these nice facilities. So when a person has nice facilities, what they'll do? Simple, enjoy through senses. Enjoy through senses. That is the purpose of life. People mostly do when they have all these nice facilities. People don't strive or look for liberation. So it is the same thing with these two people, Nalakuvera and Managriva. So nicely enjoying through senses. And one day they went to a nice lake. Look at this picture. They went to the nice lake, and They started drinking alcohol, intoxication, and they were so much drunk. They were nicely playing with these ladies. Then dancing, frolicking in this water, and drinking alcohol. They were totally forgetful about their own thing. So this is what it says. It is what it is said in our scriptures. A person who is delighting in the sense pleasures, who is delighting in the sense pleasures, who is mad after sense pleasures, even though he's a human or demigod, he'll behave like an animal. He loses his consciousness totally. Even though he got the higher bodies, higher facilities, but he lives like a almost like an animal, right? So that is the state of these people now, totally lost, totally forget about their body, the clothes on their body, not even wearing clothes, doing all kinds of nonsense things. So that time, so Narada Muni was going by and he saw these two people doing this activity. And on his way, he saw these two people. All these ladies, they looked at Narada Muni and they rushed to wear the clothes. They rushed to wear the clothes. And these two people, Nalakuver and Manigriva, they were totally intoxicated, totally forgetful about their things. They did not even offer obeisances to Narada Muni, and they stood naked. It's a great offense. If a person is standing naked in front of a great saintly person, it's an offense to them. So Narada Muni cursed. You people, both of you lost your senses. Because of unrestricted sense enjoyment, you are behaving like a lower species. You're not even wearing clothes. You're behaving like a trees. Let you become trees. He cursed them to become trees. These two people got a curse to become trees. They rushed to the Narada Muni saying, "Oh my dear Narada, how can we become trees? What is the life of a tree? There is no enjoyment at all. There is no lady tree. There is no girl tree. We can't enjoy when there is no girl tree. What kind of life is that? And please help us to come out of this curse." So Narada Muni, out of compassion, he said, "Okay, do not worry. Now that you came to my shelter, you will be relieved. Don't worry." How? So Supreme Lord Krishna is gonna come. He's gonna come and he's perform pastimes in Vrindavana. You're gonna become trees in Vrindavana, and you can experience, you can watch. You will have the senses to release the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Lord is gonna perform so many pastimes. You're gonna look at all the pastimes. Your consciousness is purified. Your mind is purified. So Lord, when I'm cutting it short, when the Lord was bound by Mother Yashoda to this motor, the Lord was, after he was born, he went to this, in between two trees. He went and he uprooted the trees. Even though he was a baby, Lord just uprooted the trees. These two trees, got their real form. That is Manigriva and Nalokavera. They got these two demigods. They regained their real form as demigods. Okay, in an essence, if one is forgetful about his own nature because of unrestricted sense enjoyment, he will be in trouble. But by the mercy of saintly people like Narada and the Supreme Lord Krishna, one can come back, regain their consciousness, real consciousness, purify their consciousness, and attain the Supreme Lord. Okay. So there is a nice verse in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, or founder Acharya of ISKCON, had quoted this verse many times in many scriptures. Teachings of Lord Rishabhadev. Okay. Rishabdev, let's say background about Lord Rishabdev. So Lord had many incarnations. Right? We all know Dashavatar, just 10 incarnations. But in Bhagavatam, it is said there are 20 plus incarnations. And towards the end, Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva says, you can count the sand particles in the ocean, but you cannot count the incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Lord take many incarnations. So Lord had taken the incarnation. He came as Rishabhadev. So he had 100 sons. And once he gave a class, he gave a class to all his sons, and he recited. His class starts with this verse. His class starts with this verse. Nayam deho deha bhajam loke. So I'll read the translation. We are running out of time. So, my dear sons, there is no reason to labor very hard for sense pleasure while in this human form of life. Such pleasures are available to stool eaters, hogs. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified. And as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. So, the essence of work is, so here Rishabdev is saying is, people are striving to attain happiness or deriving happiness through senses. Those happiness is also available in lower species. Those species who eat stool is considered the lowest of all species. Even that species also experiences the same sense pleasure. Same sense pleasure. Now we are eating nice delicacies cooked by nice ingredients. We experience the sense pleasure through this mouth. The lower species who is eating the stool also experiences the same sense pleasure. End of the day, whatever the species are eating, the pleasure is same. The pleasure is same. And here Rishabdev is saying, human life is not meant for that. Human life is not meant to experience the same sense pleasures which are available in lower species. Human life is meant to attain liberation, moksha, attain the transcendental bliss, unlimited happiness. So how can one attain? Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. Tapo divyam. Tapo means austerity, practice, restraining the senses. Our senses naturally run behind many things. Restraining the senses, direct the senses towards the Supreme Lord. That way, one can attain a state of liberation. Even though living in this world, he can experience the transcendental bliss. I know so much info. Okay, we'll do this verse. I'll ask someone to recite this verse.
शक्नोति हैव यः सोदं प्राक् शरीर विमोक्षणात् कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगं तयुक्तः स सुखी नरः. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world.
Okay, bro. So one might have a question. Of course, my mind, of course, my body naturally run towards material things. Material things. What should I do? My desires are unlimited. I have taken many lifetimes. In many lifetimes, I acquired many desires. I have wide varieties of desires to enjoy through these senses. What should I do? One may have this question. Krishna giving an answer. Tolerate agitations. Agitations will happen. Yes, we are in this material world. It is expected the agitations will happen. We are not in the spiritual world. Right? We are not in the spiritual world. It's like it's all blissful world, no mental agitations. But since we are in this material world, it is natural. It is expected that the agitations to enjoy through senses are natural happens. But Krishna is saying, when the itch happens, keep on itching. No, Krishna is not saying that. Itch will happen. Put an ointment. Tolerate it and put an ointment. Don't keep on itching more. If you keep on itching more, you'll be in big trouble. Krishna is saying, you tolerate this itch of sense gratification. Tolerate the agitations of your mind. And the essence Krishna what Krishna is saying here is, if a person before leaving this present body, right, is living a 0 to 100, max 80 or 60, whatever the lifetime, even just before giving up his body, if he can control the urges of senses, control the urges of senses, sense of taste, want to experience a tasty thing, sense of vision, want to see the beautiful thing, like that. So one will be driven away by these senses all the time. It happens. So I'm talking about two senses, eyes and a sense of vision and sense of taste, but we have total 10 senses. Okay, so we went through that later in previous details. So there are 5 Gnana Indriya and Karma Indriya, 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses will be driven away by the pulling of these senses. So Krishna is saying, tolerate these urges. If you can tolerate, at least before you die, and if you can put a check to the impulses of desire and anger. When I'm enjoying through senses, right, I'm looking at this phone, I develop a desire. I wish I have a good phone. I'm enjoying through senses, but I'll not develop a new desire. Right? So likewise, when people are enjoying through senses, they develop desires. The impulses will naturally come out. If they don't have a thing, they desire, that is natural. Even though they have a thing, they still desire. They still desire. If a person goes to a vacation spot, Hawaii, they nicely enjoys through cruise and many things. And there, as part of the enjoyment, he develops another desire. I wish I could go alone, or I wish I could be with a person, or I wish I could go from here to some other place. So unknowingly, people generate so many desires. So Krishna is saying, if you can put a check, you can stop the impulses which are coming out from your mind. Desire, one thing is desire. If you can do that, you can live happily in this world and you can attain liberation. And second thing about anger, Krishna is saying two things are there, okay? Desire and anger. When a person doesn't have a thing in his life, he desire for it. I wish I have it. After attaining it, when that is taken away, if a person doesn't have a car, he contemplate on the car, he got the car, is happy. When the car is taken away, he'll be mad. He'll get angry because he's so much attached to the car. It's the same thing. If a person doesn't have a wife, he's thinking about his wife, and he got his wife is taken away. I'm just giving an example. So likewise, so if a person doesn't have a job, or is thinking about job, he got a job, his job is taken away for some reason, some bad incident happened or something else happened. So people lose their mind. So because of uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled anger, people create problems to themselves and also to others. Krishna is saying, if you can tolerate this agitation of senses, agitation of desires, unlimited desires, agitation of anger, if you can tolerate that, even before end of life or until the end of life, if you can continue tolerating it and engaging the senses in a right way, and in the right way, bringing God in picture, then you can have the happiness. You can experience happiness in this world, and also you can experience happiness in the other world. It is, you can attain liberation. Okay. Oh, there is a nice verse. Yeah, and we'll end this. Okay. So give me 2 minutes. So this is a verse from Adi Shankaracharya has given this verse in Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So in the 16th verse, he says, the pulling of senses is so strong, even at the age of old age, like 60s, 70s, 80s, also people try to fulfill their desires, run behind this sense gratification. Right? Angham ghalitam phalitam mandam. Anga means body. Galitam means it's getting the body would get deteriorated. At the time of old age, this body get deteriorated. Phalitam mandam. His head, he loses hair, hairs become gray. He loses hair, or hairs become gray, he'll become bald. Dashana vihinam jhatam tundam. About the teeth, at the time of old age, do we have the nice teeth to chew and enjoy? No. People have so many tooth problems, and they don't even have tooth. All the people lose tooth, right? People lose teeth when they are in elderly ages. Vruddho yati katheva dhandam. So at that age of 60, 70, in the elderly age, body doesn't support. Now we have 2 legs, we need 1 more leg, extra leg. Dandam. It's a stick. It's dandam. So Adi Shankaracharya is saying is, even at that time, these senses are so strong. If a person is attached to sense gratification throughout the life, even at the age of old age also, these senses are so strong, they pull him left and right. Body not supporting, but mind is asking. He clings to fruitless desires. He develops unlimited desires. So because of unlimited desires, he has to go through this repeated cycle of birth and death. Anyway, so life lesson: temptations will come, the mind will generate desires, temptations will come. We do not have to welcome it. One can put a check. If a person can put a check on those unregulated or unrestricted sense gratificatory desires, mind always pulls. But if a person can put a check on it, if it doesn't welcome them, he is on the right path. He can attain liberation. He can live happily in this world, and he can go back to Godhead. Okay. So I thought of completing this chapter, but I spent more time on other verses. Okay, it's already 7:34. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Please feel free to share your thoughts and realizations. Hope you have gained some info today. Hope the session is informative. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here.